Cavecast, the uncensored show for nerds of all kinds.
Guys, welcome to the first official live stream of the Cavecast. I have been jazzed up about this for so long, and so long, like it's been like years, but for the whole week, I've just been, it's like waiting for Christmas. And we have an awesome show for you tonight, and we cannot wait to dive into the songs and things that we have. But this is going to be an interesting thing because we have the chat in front of us, but Eric and I are still going to have like a conversation, do our thing. But we want to check in with chat, make sure we're keeping up on the conversation and, you know, super chats and things. So if we're delayed in getting to your questions and things like that or seeing what's going on, just know that we see you. We're going to get to you.
We're ignoring you.
Yeah, we're ignoring you. But man, this is just I'm beyond excited to officially do this tonight. And so it's how are you feeling right now?
Dude, what's weird is like I was saying beforehand, I'm kind of nervous.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
This isn't my channel. And it's not and when you were doing all of the like, it wasn't even that much extra, but like a little bit extra than my Twitch as far as like the pre-show or like the, you know, starting soon and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. It was just enough different. And it's the fact I know that this is kind of a radio podcast / whatever, but YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know why this made it different. I know that there are people watching me right now, and I'm so used to just talking to that camera and nobody seeing me until the next day. Yeah. This is kind of tripping me the fuck out because I'm used to sitting in front of a screen too when we are on camera, directly in front of something on like in a studio.
Yeah.
So this is, I don't know. I don't like it. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, I'm loving.
So what's up, everybody?
I'm loving every single second of this. Okay. Guys, the normal way that we do this is that the mixer does have a lot of pretty colors. Yes, it does. So, but what we usually do with things like this is that we're kind of kicking it old school, is that we have a list of songs and things that we're going to go through and that we're basically just going to talk about why they're therapy for us, why we've chosen them, why everything is the way that it is. I'm actually going to switch over to you real quick and adjust my camera a little bit. So if you want to talk to them, like, as far as your therapy songs tonight, because you talked about that, you were saying that you were wondering how diverse mine were going to be.
See, so, I'm not going to lie. I actually maybe misunderstood a little bit. I thought you said like sad song playlist.
I mean, it's just therapy. Yeah.
But no, the reason I was asking like what you had, if I knew anything, was just like maybe we had something similar because actually one of them, ironically, you showed me.
Oh, really?
You showed me, and it's something that we've actually done on the channel, and I realized I enjoyed them more than I thought. I just haven't gone through them very often.
Oh, shit. I think I might know what it is. I might.
Okay.
I might.
All right.
Yeah, so.
But no, it was just, I wasn't sure how in depth you wanted to get tonight. I know that we've got about an hour and a half usually is kind of anywhere, guys, from an hour to, hour and a half is what we've tried to keep a podcast at.
Yeah, there have been some exceptions. I mean, if you see some of the older podcasts that we did, is that it's like I think probably Depression, Being Alone, Faith Deconstruction, those were very hefty podcast that we had a lot to say that we didn't do the part podcast back then. We didn't do like part 1, part 2, different things like that. So we do try to keep it around 90 minutes is the sweet spot. So we have 4 songs chosen each tonight, but in the same hand as
we might not get to them.
We might just do 3. And it's one of those that if we're kind of approaching the cusp, I'll be like, all right, buddy, like if you got to pick between 2, pick one now, but
and that's fine. And that's fine. It's just mine guys are a little odd. And the reason why some of these are, quote, newer are because I also had something happen too where I wasn't sure, and you said something about it too, where it was like, one of mine's like a happy song where it was like, I thought about that, where it's like, I have songs that aren't sad. Yeah. That take me to a place because of like memories, or it's not necessarily sad because of like emotional damage or something. It's because of like, I'm I remember that time of my life, even though it was good, like, the summer of 93 or something like that,
Sure.
Where like, just take me back to that time. So I just legit went for sad stuff. Now, with the exception of one, I listened to a lot of not emotional stuff, and I listen to non-rap stuff, but a lot of my stuff was rap and hip hop.
Yeah.
So when it came to like in your feels, like down there, it didn't really happen per se like that a whole lot. So I only have one like that.
Sure.
The rest are kind of newer. And I feel like kind of cop-outs, but it was what I could come up with without really like, I don't want to say forcing something, but like forcing something. Be like, it's just because it's got sad lyrics. Well, no, does it make me sad? And we weren't allowed to use Sleep Token.
That was the one thing that we were very, very forward on, was that we did not want to basically rehash songs that we've been talking about for the past 2 weeks. We did not want to, basically repeat ourselves. We want to keep the conversation fresh. And, it's one of those that guys, like, pretty much any Sleep Token song is a therapy song. So it's one of those, it's kind of like, oh, which one? Yes. So
right.
Like, moving on, that kind of deal. But tonight we're going to try to open some doors. I know I am, for some different things that are, obviously very personal, but maybe some stuff that I haven't like talked about in a while, because there's been some songs that I forgot. That when I went back through my playlists, or went through, like, for instance, like, I'll give a little window, but like looking at like Christian metal, Christian rock, like, what were some bands I was listening to back then?
Sure.
And one popped up that I remembered, and I went, oh, that's right. I'm like, yeah, this one was heavy for me, back then. And it was very hard to pick just one, because I didn't want to do a full Christian artist playlist of therapy songs, but I do know that I would need to at least include one, because it was such a formative thing of my childhood, and like my, my middle school years, my high school years, which we're going to do a podcast at some point of our middle school and high school, like, albums, and like, kind of rank those and different things. But,
dude, so I just want to start. You have almost 40 people in here.
Oh, really? Guys,
38 people in here right now.
Sorry,
I was cheesing over that.
Thank you for everybody for being here. I actually need to reselect my studio stream here, make sure that we are good. And then,
Oh, yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm watching.
44 people. Wow, guys. RSS, everybody listening on Spotify, this is going to be kind of a discombobulated episode, because we're getting used to chat. So, guys, just bear with us, but we promise we will keep the conversation moving. So,
but all right, well, why don't we do this? Why don't we go ahead and get started, man? Like, I don't care who wants to start. If you want to start, if you want me to start, it doesn't matter.
I'll go first.
That's fine.
So when I think of a time of my life, like when I was really getting into music that would sock me in the gut, because I remember growing up, we've talked about this ad nauseum at certain points on the channel, but it's one of those, like, mom and, my biological dad being like big Journey fans, and, Aunt Heidi, loving Cream and Creed, and like, all these like different like things that were big then, and then the Legendary stuff. I really didn't like find my way or find my deal with everything until maybe I was like a teenager-ish, give or take. And one of the things that really stuck out to me, and some people can say that this is, like, they look at this as like, oh, that's like dad metal or whatever. But dude, Five Finger Death Punch has some of the most emotional songs, with different subjects of things, whether or not it's, self-harm, or if it's, unaliving, or if it's, our veterans and what they go through, and, the PTSD and everything. And I'll tread lightly here, but you will know who I'm talking about, and the people that are close to me in chat will know what I'm referring to. But my friend Carol, she is no longer with us, unfortunately, but she was such a big Five Finger Death Punch fan. And I remember that she struggled mentally. For a long time, they thought that it was one thing. Turns out it was another. She was misdiagnosed, and and it was a very difficult thing for her to work through. And it caused a lot of pain in one way or another. And when I talked to her the one time, because I was one of the few people that she actually enjoyed talking to, which was very weird, but I remember she talked about Five Finger Death Punch, and she said, yeah, she said, I've been listening to that song, Remember Everything, quite a lot lately. And I said, why? Why that one in particular? And she said, because the people that have wronged me when I was a kid, as an adult, and the abuse and everything that has happened to me, is that she said, I've looked at them in the eye, and it's like, I remember. I remember everything. And that's really the point of that song, is the fact that it's that acknowledgement of that. It's like, no, what happened to me was fucked up.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll always remember this. I will never forget this. But it's also therapy, because it's the acknowledgement in the song of, dear brother, I'm sorry, I wasn't good enough. Dear father, I should have been there with you, these different things. It's a song very much about regret. And in a good way, it makes me think of her. It's that thing where it's that it was a badass moment that she said that to me, was that she didn't take no shit. And she just had that moment of that. She's like, you can pretend all you want that what happened didn't happen, but it did. I have the scars.
Yeah.
And I have the scars.
Yeah.
And it's like, I will always remember everything. And that for me was a big formative point of when I was listening to music, just because that really pushed me in the direction of paying attention to what Ivan Moody had to say and what that band stood for and how they do everything, and it was
it's weird.
It's not a very deep one, but it's kind of a good like kick-offer.
Well, no, it's weird that when like bands like Five Finger Death Punch and Ivan can hit you like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it's not like a super sad song, but I know that he and the band do songs like that. But like,
yeah,
you think somebody of his demeanor and things is always going to be this just hardened lyricist.
He's a big tatted rock star.
Yeah, and it's always just fuck the man and fuck you and everything. Well, sure, you can do that, but there is more to it than that. Like, I argue that being a good lyricist means you have to be able to do both sides. Not that you have to, but like if you're so aggressive over here, you have to be able to have some sort of balance.
Yeah.
Or you're just kind of, in my opinion, a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
That's cool, you know how to do that, but you need to make me feel a little bit, because I'm only going to come to you for a certain thing now. Now that I know that Five Finger Death Punch can make me scream and, melt my face off, or I can come over here into another lane as well. I like that.
Well, especially the way that he perceives faith, I think is, if I'm being honest, I think it's corrupt, but in the same hand is that I cannot deny that his view of faith is very unique. The idea of that, when he says in Wrong Side of Heaven, and he says, I spoke to God today and she said that she's ashamed. He has a very different way of getting your attention, because sometimes you can become complacent. Now, is that correct or not? It's up to him to decide. But it's just very interesting that it's, with his writing process that, you do get a lot, from him. Like even a lyrics in one of his other songs says, I feel like your heaven is still trying to drag me down. And it's like, wow, like, who thinks like that? So anyway, but that was my Five Finger Death Punch kind of like, when I think about them, like they're definitely therapy for me. But for me, they're very unique because of that specific time of my life.
Right.
But I have a strong feeling, depending on which one you start with, I might have a suspicion of what it is.
We'll start with that. What do you think it is?
I personally think it's Let Me Be Sad. Yeah, dude.
It is.
Guys, everybody in the chat, first off, I wanted to say this is that looks like Ron and Rage just actually joined. They said hello. Rage actually said, dude, congrats on the milestone for going live. So, dude, thank you so much for being here. Just all the mods, everybody that's in here helping us out. You guys are incredible.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, there's Ron. Yeah. Hey, what's up, man?
Dude,
what's up, everybody?
66 people are in here. Thank you.
Holy shit, are you serious?
66 people are here hanging out, guys. Thank you so much for giving us
your time.
I'm still
at 43, so it's got to be catching up.
Yeah, but Let Me Be Sad was a song I do remember the night I showed you that. Now, I don't know if maybe that's what made you think about it, or what stuck out to you about that song?
The lyrics. Like, okay, so It's literally how he starts it with the holding back right now because I'm numb to what's around. I moved here when you had showed me that. So like that was
fresh off that cusp. Yeah.
That was, right off of, a breakup and, now a split home and, being not in a weird place, but like in a weird place in my life. And I just remember hearing this song and going, God damn it. Because it even follows with when he says, let me be sad even for a little while, just to catch my breath. Because, dude, I'm so upset right now. And you are just still in my fucking ear. Can you just give me 5 seconds to be upset, to be mad, to be angry before you want to throw some other curveball at me?
Yeah.
Can you please just let me fucking be sad? Like, I'm mad, I'm angry, and I'm upset. Can I just sit here? And this song, while I don't listen to it a whole lot anymore, because it does take me to a weird spot, because it's so funny. I listened to all these songs today, and dude, I was standing in my living room. I'm not trying to be funny, guys. Standing with my phone in hand, a tray full of weed, fresh bag of weed, bowl, and just sobbing, snot running down my face. Like,
that's when you know that the music is good and you need it, dude.
I was all alone. Devin wasn't home, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And I just stood there. I'm like, oh my God, I remember, and it was just, and then hearing the lyrics again, where it's just like, it was everything. It was the tonality of the sound. It's not just always lyric based. That this song had more of an emotional side to it than it, like, also with just like lyric based, like even just hearing the sounds, it had like, it's almost haunting. It's got that kind of like, not a carnival sound. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, there was this like eerie background music that was with it. And when I think of like a sad song or a therapy song, it goes either way for me. It's something that you can either listen to a lot, or it's something like that one where I kind of don't listen to that one a whole lot because it breaks me in two.
I find with that one specifically is that I'm either like, I find that it's like, it is, to me, it's a repeater because I think that the song itself is just so good. Like, it's like, there's also something to be said about the writing of the lyrics when first off, actually we need to acknowledge this, is that Eric in the band, we actually get clean vocals from him. He's not screaming. So it's a whole different, different vibe. And the way he ends his verse or ends his verse when he says, so please, and it goes right into the chorus so beautifully. And it's that where it's like, dude, like it's how does he say, you got the lyrics in front of you when he says, I'm doing everything I can to try to fix it, but knowing me, I'll probably miss it.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
these voices get so vicious. It feels like I'm ripping stitches, dude.
It's ridiculous. It's wild.
But yeah, like I see, and that's another one that got me too. Like, but knowing me, I'm trying. I'm doing my best. I try all the time. What I think is the best, or like the best scenario, or like to be a leader, or to be, whatever it might be, and it's like, I'll probably either miss the exit, miss the sign, miss the fucking directions, miss the whatever, like, because it's me.
Yeah, you have no confidence in yourself, man.
It's like it's just like it's
I get it.
I'll fuck it up. I always do.
Yeah,
I always do. So it's like, why is this any different? But it's like, you still tried. See, to me, at the same, like right now, like the key word is tried. I'm kind of done trying. I'm doing my thing, like it's for my own benefit. Yeah. Like it's not for anything else other than, well, I guess me and my daughter, like my son's a grown ass man now.
Yeah.
So
which is strange to think about.
Yeah,
yeah, I know.
Right. But it's just, you showing me that when you did, Sorry, I'm not really getting choked up. I'm literally choking. When you showed me that, it struck a nerve in a good way, but in a bad way. And I listened to that song on repeat for weeks, man. And I had to be careful because it lends itself to be a type of song where it can go too far.
Yeah, because I think that I think the thing to remember with "Let Me Be Sad" is the fact of that it's the truth, dude. Like, it's like somebody actually on Discord, I can't remember the screen name, but they said that they talked about how they don't they're not able to express the emotion. It's not even just emotion, daily things, but like very difficult things that even in private they don't let it out. And all I said to them is I said, look, I'm like, I get it, but in the same hand, you have to understand, like, that's energy you're building up in your body. Like, imagine it if you tried to hold in a piss for a week. No, dude, you're gonna piss your pants.
Right.
It's going to come out. You know what I mean? Like,
it'll kill you.
Or it'll kill you. And I think that's the thing, is that people that are so iron-headed in the fact where, like, I've got some of, like, it's always like a guy friend, right? But whether it's like they're ashamed to cry in front of people, or that, you know, this or that, because whether it's how they're raised or they were made fun of by friends at some point because they got emotional. And it's that mentality of, no, dude, you have to let that stuff out. Like, you have to process it. You need to be sad for a little bit. And it's okay to be sad for a little bit.
But it's the fact of, I still hate when I get upset on camera. I don't like when I get upset in front of people or on lives or on cameras when it's being recorded. Like, and it's not even, I don't know. It's not necessarily a manly thing. It's just, I don't know. There is something about somebody's hundreds of thousands of people at times seeing you vulnerable.
Yeah.
And it's not to be ashamed of being vulnerable, but like, dude, the way you look, like you look, it's fucking unattractive. I mean, I'm discussing the fact, like, if you're snotting and sniffling and all this stuff, like, it's just, it's a lot. And it's something that I really don't like to do on camera. So, like, I get that part. It's not necessarily because I'm embarrassed as a man.
Right.
Some of that comes into play. It does, and it has. The older I get, though, I feel like it's not as big of a deal. I think that there are more of my guy friends that I see or hear having like breakdowns or being upset, and it's like, it's the older we get.
Hold on, we need to acknowledge this. So,
hey, Ron,
our first super chat on an official podcast episode, dude. Thank you so much for $4.99. He says, "Yo, throw some money at these guys. Y'all know they deserve it, buddy." Thank you, man. That's really, really incredible.
Oh, hard. I always heart.
Thank you.
I always heart my, no matter how big the donation.
Guys, understand this, guys. Donos are not required.
Same as everything else.
We have a system set up for members where 99 cents a month. We made it as low as possible for it to work it properly. But 99 cents a month, you can support the show. You get your name at the end of the episode, and then you also get the pre-show, which today's pre-show was pretty awesome. I'm excited to throw that one on there, but.
What I was gonna say, no, dude, like that was my first one. It's just I don't.
And we got Heath for 3. Thank you, Heath.
And first time on live stream, so thank you for a super chat.
Thank you, awesome.
It won't let me heart it, but
no, you're
anyways,
fine.
Like I said, guys, mine are weird. Mine, I feel like kind of cop outs, but only because I listen to a lot of rap, and not that rap doesn't have emotional stuff, but it didn't have stuff like "Let Me Be Sad."
No,
So I have this kind of war between of what I can choose from a lot of times. So Turtles
for
gaming
for 10, dude. Thank you. I will double that, Rooster. My God, thank you, guys.
Thank you. But okay,
just know, guys, that if we get deep in conversation, and if finally when you get our attention, if we've missed any super chats, just
please
let us know.
Let us know.
We will read through them at least before we end the show. So it's just we don't. That's the one thing we're figuring out tonight. And again, people on Spotify, I know you can't see anything, so thank you for bearing with us. But we're learning tonight. We're learning how this is going to go. We've got something to focus on, but we want to hone this thing in and make.
I think we're doing a pretty
machine.
good job. I'm trying to like. I see what you're doing too. Like you're not paying attention, but when I'm talking, you're kind of looking at chat. When you're talking, I'm kind of looking at chat. Like so.
And right now, guys, I need to say this: we have 95 concurrent viewers in here.
What?
Or sorry, no, 95. Sorry, 95 views and 52 concurrent viewers.
Oh
dude.
yeah, 50. Okay,
dude. So guys, thank you so much. Thank you. So
all right.
Okay.
Well, what's your next one, man? Because I'm interested to see what your other ones are.
So this is the Christian song off of this playlist.
Okay.
So again, guys, we could probably scroll endlessly on the therapy songs that we have, but choosing 4 was very, very difficult, as far as like NF and Skillet and Breaking Benjamin.
I bumped an NF song.
Yeah, I actually NF did make it through for me tonight. So
I have Lost was the one I bumped.
Oh, okay, guys. See, it sucks. It's like trying to choose your favorite kid.
I know.
But I'm actually curious about if anyone in the chat knows this band or if they've ever listened to them back in the day. But excuse me, Decyfer Down.
Know the name.
So they started off with a vocalist named Caleb, which I think it was Caleb and his brother. The brother was the drummer of the band. It was kind of like a Pantera kind of thing, where it was like two guys bringing it all together. So Natural Ginger just became a member, dude. Thank you so much.
That's
dude.
what that is.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, thank you for okay. That's what that means. Gotcha.
Dude, Ginger, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So essentially, what ended up happening was that Caleb ended up having a kid and he decided that he wasn't going to tour anymore. They brought in their new singer TJ. So it's like they went through a bit of a lineup change, but there's a song that when Caleb was in the band, and I don't know if he was the one that wrote the lyrics or if it was a group effort, but regardless, it's a song called No Longer. And it's this letting go of the past. It's this thought of like, no longer will I, carry this weighted mass. Now I walk through the day with no shame. And there's a specific lyric that when I listened to it and it hit me so hard because of it's the way he sings it, but he also, this is best to do it in context. Is that this verse says, I've always tried to live the life, but now I'm looking back and it doesn't seem right. How I lived to never give and always take what wasn't mine. Indiscreet, could never keep a glimmer in my soul of something more. No longer will I sit and die for something that I don't even really care for.
Huh.
I've thought of many things in my life, whether it's substance or if it's, technology, taking over my life in severely negative ways or one thing or another. But dude, when I think about the people that I am no longer around, when I think about the bullshit that I allowed, and the things that I thought were normal, and because guys, like we have very different families in very different degrees of things, and there's something in my past that is very difficult still to work through to this day. Like Crystal helps me through it so much. You know what I'm talking about. And I had this moment of when I finally pushed away all this negativity from a very specific person and their family. And I finally had this moment of realizing the breath of fresh air that I had, the relief, the idea that I woke up and these specific things don't happen anymore. And it was that moment of realizing, like, you're telling me normal people don't act like this? Are you kidding me? Like this was really that fucked up? And man, it's just, dude, like I love my family. I love the people that have wronged me. I want the best thing for them. But what is that saying where it says that just because you're an enemy of mine doesn't mean that I wish ill of you. It just means I don't want you at my table.
Right.
You know, where it's just like, no, dude, it's like, I don't wish ill on you. I don't want you to die. I don't want anything bad to happen to you.
Just stub your toe like every Friday at 9 a.m.
Yeah,
the right one, the right big one. The just minor inconveniences.
Yeah.
I don't want you, right. Like, I don't want you to die.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my thing is that I what was it? It was something in the fact of, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I like that. It's forgive, don't forget though. Like, I can look past the stuff. I don't forget, kind of like that. Remember, like, I don't forget what you did though. Like, I know I don't want you at my table. I still want to see you eat though.
Yeah. Right. I think that's the right way to say the phrase. Yeah.
Like, it's just, sure, but it was. Oh, is it? I don't know.
I think that is the correct wording. Yeah.
But anyways, but you're absolutely right. Where I don't harboring hatred is hard to not do.
It feels so good for a little while.
It does. When you're so used to having to do it. I hate saying it that way, but I feel like I've had to do it a lot because I feel like that while I have still done things myself, but that I have been backed in corners a lot. Mom
just said, she said, "Oh, we never forget." And
yeah, right.
That just rang home. That's good. Yeah.
But it's just that there's something about it to where it's like no matter what, it's everything in life is exhausting, but being hateful all the time, I think, drains you even faster.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you said, like, it feels good. It's fun, or like it's whatever. It's you know, all this, but I think that's it, is because then you're just in it.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, man, I'm just like so drained. Like, and you can't figure out why. And then all you are is just full of piss and vinegar.
Well, I think that we talked about it a little bit in one of the Sleep Token podcasts, but it was that I should memorize the verse reference. That way I have it, because we talk about stuff like this enough. But there's a Bible verse that even says that, where it says, no, sin is fun for a season.
Yeah,
that's because that's how it gets its hooks in you.
That's how it gets its.
And to me, it's like, you don't even have to live a biblical life to resonate with that or agree with the Bible completely. It's like, no, dude. It's like, it's kind of like, no, man, I agree. Like, you know, an atheist could look at it and go, I agree with the golden rule. Absolutely, I agree that, you know, Jesus was at least a good man, or was this or whatever. But dude, if there is nothing more about the human condition that ain't more true than that, dude, where it's like, no, dude, it's fun. It is fun for a little while.
Yeah.
And I think it ties in even with that Decyfer Down thing, where it's like, nah, dude, you're dying for it. You don't need to, you know, but it's the truth, dude. It's wild.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah.
No, man, that's I like that one. So like I said, I've never listened to them, heard the band name before, but never listened to them as far as that. But as far as, you know, lyrically based, they sound like something that would be up my alley, because that's the thing, is that while I did listen to a lot of rap and hip hop, when I gravitate to any other genre, even with rap, like, it had to be, lyricists have to bring it for me.
Yeah.
That was like substance things. Like, story doesn't always have to be a story.
No.
Fun fact, I actually don't like rappers that tell stories per se.
Really?
Not really. Like, I know Nas, the old rapper Nas was like very much like storyteller rapper. Never really got into him, and I think that's why. It was kind of like when rappers would kind of storytell. This is going to sound weird, but it's kind of like how Vessel does it, but in rap, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
like it's hard to explain. The Joker, I like the way the Joker. It's kind of like Vessel.
See, guys, now to make sure I got this right, it's Joker with 2 R's, right?
Correct.
Guys, if you want to see somebody that was revolutionizing the rap genre at that time in the early 2000s, if you're not familiar with his work, you've got to check out the Joker. He's someone that was shamelessly doing his own thing. That I think that was,
he had his own lore.
Yeah.
Where he was this like lost jester and stuff, like back in the day. But anyways,
cinematic as hell.
Yeah.
So,
but what I was getting at is that it's just that's where like that's where I get into. So I'm glad that a lot of times when we listen to stuff, we don't have a lot of filler artists that do things. We both listen to things that are very much substance based. And I guess that's what'll probably lead into the next one. Again, guys, I'm sorry to bring up a lot of these other 2 songs, but because we do talk about them a lot. But the first one is "Redecorate" by 21 Pilots.
This is, I think, one of the most important songs I think they've ever written. Yeah,
dude, it's so, it's interesting to see the like story that he goes through in the 3 verses and how the hook comes into play, because it almost hits like every style where it's like, you know what I mean? Like with somebody that could go through where it's like depression and suicide and you know, or and you know, addiction and things like that, where, but the thing that gets me is that it's kind of how he explains the being gone. It's not the person, it's the other people.
Yeah.
Should we keep it on display or do we redecorate? So it's like you're getting so many people's point of view in this song.
Yeah.
And you're like, because I have been the people that are the ones going to cause the people to figure out what to do with this room or this house. And I've also feared what happens when I'm the person that has to make that decision. God forbid I have to be the person that makes that decision on what to do with my kids' fucking stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
No way, dude. But so it gives me, when I listen, that song I listen to a lot, actually. I listen to that song probably 3 times a week, at least once 3 times a week.
You want to know something wild? Is I have not listened to it since we reacted to it.
Really?
That is, I'm weird with 21 Pilots, where it's, I have a specific selection of things, but I cannot deny that is, it's such a hard thing, because, you know, it's, I mean, George Carlin even said it, where he said, look, we're human. He said, we don't want to die, but we do. And he said, so what do? We bullshit ourselves. You know, so we bullshit ourselves till we get there. But when you think of, you know, the room in the house that, you know, that I know exists in some people's homes that they don't go into. It's the, I haven't touched this since my husband died.
Yeah.
This was his art studio, or this was this, or this was that. I fully believe that that's the person that I would be. Is that, you know me, I love changing rooms. And I've always joked that I don't know if I like being a content creator as much as I love just making studios. You know, because it's so much fun. But But in the same,
I like spending money.
But like, dude, I'll change things on a dime. I will walk into a room on a Saturday morning at 9 o'clock and go, this closet's getting reorganized. And then I find a table that I never knew that I like, or that I forgot that I not never knew, but I forgot I had. And then I put it in a room and I go, well, this has to move, and now this has to go here. And I'm like, dude, I'm a fucking wizard at that shit. I love it. I don't think that there's a part of me that, like, I would not be mad at someone if they did it, but there's no way in hell I'd be able to do it. I'd want to hang on to it for enough time. You know what I mean?
Dude,
and then it would be that moment of like, you have to do this. I can't change this room.
See, there are things that I know that I'm really weird about stuff. Like, God forbid things happen. There actually was a time, and it wasn't on purpose, and I know it wasn't. Somebody that lived here prior, when I had been going through the stuff with Chandler, and I wasn't getting her, and it was like this weird thing. It was a blanket that it was an accident that had gotten washed, and it wasn't like, again, not like Chandler was it, but like it smelled like her, and I lost that, until I got her back. And it was weird because it kind of felt the same, where I was like, I don't know what to do. That was the only thing I had left. And it was, like I said, it wasn't on purpose.
No,
I got past it, but it was weird because I'm like, fuck. Like, it was like I lost everything. Everything was just now gone. And like, that's what this song makes me think about, where it's like, you have that moment in time where it's like, if I do this, there's no going back and it's gone forever. That smell was gone forever. It didn't smell like her lotion. It didn't smell like nothing. You know, it smelled like detergent. Yeah. Fuck Dawn, you know, or whatever it was, Tide. Right. It was just like, that's the kind of stuff that's where I'm afraid of in the future, or afraid of to have to do in the future. And that's where I think that the song makes me kind of face that a little bit. We all know, guys, time is my thing. And I think that this song kind of has that, like, confronting me about it a little bit. And that's what I don't like, because one day I'm going to be older, or one day she's going to be grown up, or one day or, you know, or my son's just in his 20s. Like, you know, it's just like all this stuff. Like, it's all happening right now in front of me. Yeah. And God forbid I have to do something like that. Like, there is so much more packed into this song, but like, it literally, even just the hook, we've talked for 15 minutes on just the hook. Yeah. Yeah. But
there are verses that cut deep as well, dude. Like,
it's just like the whole taking inventory of his life, looking around, like looking at, like, you know, like he starts it off that way. Yeah. But it's just that there was so many, I never thought about it, but the fact of so many perspectives in this song, because like I said, it's the person going through whatever it is, and then it's the family members or whatever it is left point of view for the hook. And it makes you think, because I've been at that point where, like, I don't want to be here anymore, and I don't want to do things. And I've thought about that. We're like, what would that do to, how would this person, you know, like, you think about that. At least I do when I think about that. So having that scenario of then knowing that I would purposefully put somebody in that scenario of going, well, what do we do with all of his studio shirts? Where's all of his cups go? Yeah. They're gonna sit at Kyle's? No. Like, you know, I'm like, you know, like, what do you do?
I already know for a fact that it'd be one of those that I like to think of this, obviously, in our golden years, because it's like, obviously you don't want to think about losing your family, you know, in a time that's so fresh like now. But of course, then again, by that point, it would be now anyway. But I find that it would be that moment of, like, your cups and everything. Like, nah, dude, I would fucking display them. Right. You know, like, it would be, that would be a project that would be therapeutic, that would get that. It wouldn't be the thing to, like, nothing would get me through it, because this is well, not to say nothing would get me through it, but it's that whole thing of, like, we've talked about it a bunch, but when somebody said the phrase of losing someone close to them, when they said, man, how'd you get over it? And the truth is, man, I never got over it, man. No. It just got easier. Yeah, sure. It just gets easier every day, you know, and it's something that no one likes to think about, but I mean, in many conversations I've had, you know, about mortality and what would happen and, you know, different things, is that it's something that I feel that it's one of the toughest things of life, because it's one of those things that, you know, that it's reality, that it happens to people. And then when it happens to you, it's a shocker. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, but there's also kind of that, you know, side of it of, like, you know, well, I just saw them yesterday. Right. Like, I just talked to them. Or, like, what does Ben say in It, where he said he has to borrow a pencil once? Yeah. You know, it's just those little things. I
actually had that with that Steve Bridges. As ironic as it sounds, dude from TikTok, where I legit just saw him doing I'm gonna keep it creamy with you, dog, and then the whole, you know, like, the guy at the bus stop, and then the next thing I saw was his wife. I'm like, I just saw. It was one. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah, he's fine.
He was just fine. Yeah, I almost dropped the tablet.
No, I thought you were being emotional, like getting your point across.
He was just fine yesterday. He posted a video. Like, it was one of those things, and so it's like, I get it, man. Where, isn't it funny how our brains do that? Like, I had somebody do that when they watched The Birdcage for the first time. 3 days later, Robin Williams had offed himself, and she was like, we just watched that. I'm like, what does that have to do with, you know, like, but it
sure didn't help.
But it like hits you that way.
Mm-hmm.
You have this like, well, they were fine. Like, I don't understand. They looked healthier. They didn't seem upset, or they didn't, but it's like, you don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That you don't know how somebody's feeling. You don't know what they've just had to deal with in the last 2 hours. And I think that that's a lot to do with even the songs I've thought about tonight. Like, I'm glad that all mine aren't just like sappy, like breakup songs, because it's not.
I mean, I think that's like everybody needs those kinds of things.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think I argue the Let Me Be Sad is probably like more considered like a breakup song.
Mm-hmm.
It can be lent in that way. At least that's how it was for me when I heard it.
Sure.
Because that's what was going on in my life when I did.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I play with it. But anyways, what is your next one? I'm kind of curious to see where your NF one lands.
Well, NF is next, and I have a tendency to isolate. Just it's one of those that when I get busy, when I'm doing things that my blinders get put on very, very much, and it's one of those that I know you and I can attest to when we were doing the 7 videos a week for Riker and grinding. I still to this day don't know how the fuck we did it. I genuinely don't. Like knowing,
dude, I raw dog life and just THC. I'm serious. Like I
caffeine,
just
THC,
caffeine, THC, and fucking raw dog life, man.
Yeah. It's just
still kind of do.
Well, yes, kind of, but no, it's that moment of knowing that, wow, like I lost a couple of years with, like, I remember it was actually the day that Crystal and I were official was the first day that I actually went out and went to a bonfire over at Joey's.
Really?
It was the first time I had like actually been out of the house and did something
like,
with like
kind of touch grass. Yeah.
For real.
Right.
And it was that moment of like, I was very awkward. I didn't know what to do with my hands. It was that thing of like, well, I'm like, I can't sit in my underwear here. Like, it's like, I can't, like, it's like,
why am I not editing?
Yeah, I gotta put pants on, all that stuff. Like, it was just, like I did my hair. Like, it was weird. Like, I didn't do that shit. I was even on camera. I didn't give a fuck. But no, it's NF has such a huge well to pull from, and I think it's easy to say, like, okay, The Search and Intro 3 and Happy and Mama and all of these different things. Lee, what is up, buddy? Lee, thank you for being here.
Hey, what's
guys,
up?
Everybody that's on YouTube, make sure you go over and subscribe to him, and everybody listening on Spotify as well too. Lee Reacts from Infinite Reactions. He is one of our really good pals. Go give him some love. So,
yeah.
But he is from the good old UK, so we try to give him some love whenever we see him. So, but no, it's there's many just real songs you can choose from him, but I chose Dreams.
Really?
Dreams is a song that I throw on enough. It's something that I cycle through actually the most now, like with all of his music.
Damn, I actually haven't listened to it since I've edited it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. It's that's one of them for me where it's like I actually don't go back to that one.
See, Dreams to me is just it's not like a very in-depth thing. I mean, maybe it'll turn into it. So, but dude, I know that there are people in my life that, it's like in the times that I was getting really serious about film and, was, like you were saying, like putting your head down and doing what you're doing. But I had some people that were very pissed off that I just didn't talk. And by the way, rightfully so, because I was not responding to people.
Sure.
I was isolating, for one reason or another. And I do my best now that I do try to reach out to people because I'm not miserable anymore.
Sure.
It's a lot easier to communicate with people with that in that way. But Dreams is just him just being like, look, I'm sorry that I haven't been around, but I'm just doing me right now. I'm just doing me, and it's I'm following my dreams. I'm doing my thing. And him talking about, sitting in the car with whoever friend or a girlfriend or whoever it was of that they would sit in his car and they would listen to music until the battery crashed. Like maybe they would be in some random parking lot because it was where they got away from everything, and it's like reminiscing and remembering where you've been, but understanding that it's that mentality of no, it's like you got to stop for a little bit.
Yeah.
Stop talking to people, stop doing this, do your due diligence, make your money, pay your bills, but take care of you for a little while.
Yeah.
And I know that some people have differing opinions on that. And I think that, as an introvert, which I am, it was usually me talking to an extrovert that was very upset, and it's, and I would have that conversation with them where I would say, look, dude, like you are a very codependent extrovert and I am a very independent introvert. We're not going to connect on this. I'm sorry. I can lose time. Like I will literally, I think what I said to them is at that time, I said, I could not talk to anybody for a year and that would be perfect.
Yeah. Right.
Because it would be one less thing to fucking worry about. And it's
exactly
I know that's how exhausted I was at that time, and it was, awful,
I get you. First of all, later, Lee, have a good one, man.
Say that
easy,
5
times fast. Later, Lee.
Yes.
But no, I get you, dude, where, it's, I always say I'm an introverted extrovert. Like I like to go, that's why I said I purposefully make myself go out, like even if it's just to window shop for like the show, I make myself walk around our dying mall. Make myself walk around, go to Best Buy. I can look at all of this shit online. I choose not to because I sit at home all day for my job. I game, I watch movies, I sit on lives, I do, like I edit, I need to be outside. I don't travel for work like that anymore. I don't do it. I take my daughter to school and pick her up, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So I know that I need to make myself go outside because I will be an introvert for a year and not talk to anybody. And like you said, fucking great, dude.
See,
if I got a couple bags of weed, couple good brews, maybe a pop or two, like if fucking bag of popcorn, that's smooth sailing, bro.
Well, I mean, because I look, I mean, people can have their opinions on this, and I know for a fact I'm treading some very a fine line. But you remember Al from Deadpool when she says, "God, I miss cocaine."
Yeah,
it's like that's how I feel about COVID. Where I'm like, "God, I miss COVID, dude."
I know, I know what you mean.
I do not mean to flippantly say that because I know not everybody in the world obviously had it as easy as we did during COVID.
You.
But in the same hand, it's just that
the way we got
wonderful.
To experience,
Well, and that's the thing is because I've had that thought where I'd be completely fine being isolated now.
Yeah,
like I mean, totally.
I kind of already am.
Yeah, well, right, but it's because I mean, Crystal and I talked about that at one point where it was that whole thing of, all right, well, what if because they were scuttling about maybe another COVID was going to come around, or like different things, and we both kind of looked at each other. We're like, we're cool with that.
Yeah,
let it happen. Like seriously.
I work from home anyways.
Yeah, right. We can do this job from our houses. Yeah.
What do you mean outside? People are out there.
Yeah, right.
But no, no, like I get it, dude. With you saying the whole working on my dreams and stuff, and that's where it's coming in. Coming in that fact of doing it again. Like I already got one of them plaques in there. All I did was put my head down and do it. That I'm just trying to do it again on the detour. We're now doing it on the Cavecast because you're doing the same thing. Like it's wild to know that we can do this. It's finally just getting it under control again. Somehow, guys, it got away from us. Not in a bad way, but it just, with Riker being such a well-oiled machine, we just kind of fell into that loop.
Well, and that's the thing is that I think that at that time, like, what else will we think? We have to grind for what's here because, I mean, that's the thing is that you look at No Life Shack, you look at, like, these different people that have, I think the way that I said it in a comment today to someone is I said, look, I'm like, there are a lucky few that have been able to be extremely wealthy and successful with reacting. On a norm, that's not going to happen.
That's not. Yeah,
it's not. It is a thankless job in a lot of ways. It is.
Oh yeah.
It is dirt cheap. It is like it's because it's that tough part of. We had somebody in the comments that was bitching about the overlays and things, and it was just like get that shit off of there or whatever. But basically, my elongated response boiled down to this was that look, I'm like everything you're saying runs off of an assumption. You can't live your life off assumptions,
right?
And
I saw it,
and that whole deal. And I basically just said, look, I'm like, until you've done 1,000 reactions,
literally
and fought literally 1,000 reactions, fought over 1,000 copyrights, 90% of which have stolen money from you that is rightfully yours. That I mean, and it's the whole.
We
thing
should have hundreds of thousands of. I'm serious. Like we should make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and we do not.
Like chat. This is something that I've actually. this is kind of interesting. I get to throw this out here, is that I want you to imagine clocking in for work. You clock in for work, you put in so much overtime, you fix problems, you're hitting walls, but you're clocking in your time. And then the company just decides to not pay you for the 2 weeks that you worked.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be rough, right? Like that is essentially what reacting is like. And it's that tough thing of that. It's like you really have to have that love of it to keep it moving and to keep doing your thing, And it's just it's something that, especially looking at what we're doing now, is that we get to have interaction with everybody that is loving what we're doing, but also talk, I think, in a deeper level and in a more elongated way. And that's really what makes I almost said cave casting, but podcasting so sexy for me.
Yeah.
Because it's such a different, ball game with everything. So I can't remember how the hell we got here, but
it was just the fact of like working on your dreams and stuff. From the song you had. But no, you're right, man. Like, see, guys, this is what I was liking. Now, have we really bounced off of chat per se tonight? And I hate saying that, but like the live, no. But this has still been cool, but we have kind of done our own little rabbit hole ourselves because of like the song you were just talking about, but it pertains to things we've done in our life, so
Amber just said, I would not be happy. It's like,
right. And I did see earlier, I don't know if Rage is still in here, but he was like, was not expecting to fucking cry tonight on the live. He's like, Jesus. But
we try to throw you a curveball whenever we can. So
yeah. I guess I can either finish with this. Okay. I'll end with this one on the same artist.
Did you get all your four, or is this the third one?
No. This is the third one, but it's just the fact of it's two 21 Pilots songs. So the other one is Doubt.
Oh, okay.
So again, like I said, guys, I know that you've heard us talk about this or me talk about this to death on stuff, but this is when he said therapy songs, or what I thought was sad songs, like a sad song playlist. Yeah. It was the fact of, from what I have taken from this song and from what I've heard and whatnot, that this is the struggle of, one's faith or being, Christianity or just a higher being in general.
Yeah.
And it's just there is the one lyric. It's how he says it. Because I don't know if everybody knows the song, but basically it's just don't forget about me even when I doubt you. And man,
oh God, yeah.
But there is a part in it where he says, "Shaking hands with the dark parts of my thoughts." No, because it's like immediately it's that like moment of. Right, where it's like, damn it, and it's where like, no, like I need you, like no, I need to snap back into it, and that's how I was taking things like that, like as far as like the song itself, where when you have that like doubt of going through all the trials and tribulations, like I fight with God, I do all this, like I have my quote doubts, I have this stuff of where like, am I doing the right thing? I've been asking for guidance, and how are you not showing me? And I'm not asking to be a millionaire. All I want is to just be stable in life in general. Like, and I'm just over here drowning, it seems like.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like knowing that somebody else out there has the same thoughts and the same struggles with not a relationship with a girl or a guy.
Yeah.
It's with your almighty creator here.
Yeah. The beginning and the end.
I got some balls saying the shit I do.
Yeah.
Bro, I've had knockdown, drag out fights.
This is honestly, this is where
like it's
I've talked about that. This is not a song for tonight, but Sidewalk Prophets had had something that I think is important that it relates to this, is that it's their song called "You Love Me Anyway." And it's basically the idea of that, talking about the daily struggles and like, the idea of, you know, I told a lie today. I knew it was wrong, you know, and so it kind of starts off in like, you know, more of like an innocent way if you look at the spectrum of it, of that it's like, okay, a lie, you know, whatever. But the bridge of the song, I'm about to puke Jesus all over you guys, so sorry if you don't like it. But he says, I am the thorn in your crown, but you love me anyway. I am the stripes on your back, but you love me anyway. I'm the nail in your wrist, but you love me anyway. I am Judas's kiss, but you love me anyway. He then says, I was the one that I can't remember. He rhymes it together very well. But basically what it ends on is that he said, I stood back with a smile on my face, with this sin in my heart, trying to bury your grace.
Why do I feel like I know those lyrics?
That's you probably have heard it, but
you saying okay, yeah.
He then says, but alone in the night, I still call out to you.
Yeah.
Tyler, writing doubt. Dude, I don't know how anyone can't resonate with that. Like the fact of that, it's like, dude, like it's like he is the upfront, you know, the person that's upfront about everything, saying that he knows for a fact that he's fallen and he's sinful and that he needs help and he needs a savior and he needs this and needs that. Doubt is such a beautiful cry for help. And it's in a healthy way.
I agree. Somebody said, just to follow my heart and you'll find your path. I appreciate that. The whole song does get me. That's why seeing this live,
I can't even imagine. Yeah,
bro, it was so beautiful. The bass, you can even hear it at one point in the vlog. It distorts the audio.
Yeah.
And I could like feel it. And it gave me that moment of when I used to drive around with Aunt Chrissy and stuff, when like the bass would hit.
The proper sound
you could
system.
feel it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, when he says, hope you haven't left without me. And he repeats it, but then he just ends with please. And then it just, don't forget about me.
Yeah.
Dude. Because like, I don't know if it's one of those where like kind of my scenario where it's like, I've told you to fuck off so many times, where it's like, no shit, wait. Like it's like, please. Like,
it's that almost that or sibling moment of like, oh, I didn't mean it. No,
yeah. It, you know, it gives that kind of feel, because throughout the entire song, where you're going back to that hook with don't forget about me, even when I doubt you, like that's, like I said, that's what I replay in my mind a lot, is talking to God or not talking to God, whether it's in a good or bad way, where it's like, I do my best to not just always come to him when I'm mad or when I want something.
Mm-hmm.
It's trying to do my best on always appreciating what I have. If I'm being real honest, I'm going to tread lightly here too. I was given some things and I knew it wasn't going to last, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I would purposefully, like I've said before, pull the Andy. I would like legit look around at like all of the, I'm like, you should probably take this in.
Mm-hmm. This is temporary. Yeah.
And I don't know why I thought that, but it was just that there was a lot, and it was just the fact of, but I still did my best to like be thankful.
Mm-hmm. Even if this is temporary, thank you for the gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still go back to this song where it's like how I am with him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, God, why am I like this? Why do I get like this? And it's because I feel like it's like where I get like so far ahead. It's that whole like 5 steps forwards and then 10 steps back.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you just right hook me so hard in the face, dude. You let me get up and went, ha ha, ha, psych.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude, then I'm just gonna stay on the ground then.
Yeah.
Fuck defending myself anymore. But then it's like, no, I still need you in my corner. It's like this person that fights me, but then is my water boy.
I think that it's the again. I agree with what Jelly Roll said. Was I think the way he put it was that he said I have a very tumultuous relationship with the Lord.
Yeah,
you know that, and and how he writes music and everything that it very much reflects that. And I think he's a very honest person. But dude, that's such a resonating thing because, dude, I mean, if we're being honest, is that's exactly how David was. In the Psalms is that, I mean, the Psalms, I mean, there's plenty of them that they're praising and that they're, he's thinking it's not a group of people that did it. It was David that did it. But the fact that he's, thanking God for everything and he's worshiping, but there's also plenty of Psalms where he, I don't mean for this to be crass, but the Kyle inspired version is like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Where he has that mentality of where he's just like, why are my enemies prevailing over me? Why am I not protected? You told me that this was going to be this was going to be that. But he always ended every psalm with, but you are Lord. I trust you. I got that out.
Yeah.
I got that out of my system.
I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. First of all, two things. Lori said Doubt's her favorite. That's awesome. And then Tyler's kid apparently shit in the tub.
Oh, dear God.
So he's dealing with that. Sorry.
We did see. This is what's great is that we get to have a little bit of an emotional break with having you guys here. So thank you. This is not saying that you're that's a good thing. That's very bad. But oh God, if a kid shit in the tub, I would slap him purple. But that's just me.
But no, no, man. Like this is really going back to just this in general live right now. This is interesting. I'm liking the fact that I just read Lori in real time say that Doubt's her favorite song because I was talking about her having some kind of therapy session with it. But
Tyler just said it's not funny. I'm sorry, dude.
But no,
be strong.
Be strong. But no, this is where we talk a lot about the fact of music being what emotion sounds like, and I do agree. We talk about that a lot, guys. But I agree because having those artists that give lyrics and scenarios that we can't is nice because we can at least feel, I guess, maybe heard in a sense. Yeah. So,
yeah, man.
But yeah, so Doubt was one of my other ones. Like I said, sorry guys that it was 221 Pilot songs, but it was just, I didn't really, that's just kind of the ones I listen to right now. And I think that was a big part of it.
Yeah.
So my last one is another one that's not all the time, and you'll understand why I think so.
Actually, take us through that one because I think that ending on mine, I think, is how I want to end the episode.
Okay.
So what's your next one?
Sorry if this is going to be a Debbie Downer. It is, and it's weird. It's weird. It is Eminem's Beautiful.
Oh shit! I have not listened to that since we reacted to that with Mom.
It's interesting because I forget who the start is. Oh, it's Paul Rogers, and it's the lately I've been hard to reach. I've been too long on my own. Everybody has a private place where they just want to be alone, and so it starts off with this just like, I get it, man. And it's not even Eminem. It was somebody else, and it was the music with it. But even before and when the bass comes in, when M starts rapping, I guess you can still call it that. It's kind of like borderline singing. Something just hit me, and I went, "Oh no, this is not." And then the first 4 or 5 words out of his mouth, "I'm just so fucking depressed." I've never heard Eminem. I've heard him be vulnerable with Mockingbird and things like that, to where he was talking about his daughter, and because he's got his other one, but the there was something different about this. This was a real, the untouchable, bulletproof Eminem is legit saying, I'm fucking depressed, dude.
Yeah. Even on
I just can't seem to get out this slump. Like, if I could just get over this hump, but I need something to pull me out this dump. I've took my bruises, took my lumps.
Mm-hmm.
I need something to help me get right back up. Like, dude, where he's like, he's got this, like, he can see himself over here.
Mm-hmm.
I need this spark. I need a spark to get me going.
Mm.
Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And it's weird, man, because like I've been depressed for a lot of years, and we've talked about that, guys. Where like I think there's like weird levels of depression, where like I think everybody has depression all the time, but then there are like severe depressions where people can't get out of their bed. I'm depressed, but still get up every morning. You got to do something, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I said even earlier, like I make myself go out and window shop. I make myself go out and do things.
Mm-hmm.
But then he says something in here which resonated with me later on in life, where he just said, he starts to say, like, I'm just starting to feel distant again. So I decided to pick this pen up and attempt to try to vent.
Mm.
But that's kind of what I feel about the channels, where it's like, I said it the one day with the whole stuff with Vessel, with the, getting sick of yourself, where it's like, I don't want to say welcome back music junkies anymore.
No.
But it's like, I'm just like, fuck, I need to sit in front of this camera and think of something to do. Like maybe if I get that one movie reaction, I'll get that spark back.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens. Like it happens.
Yeah.
But this song, it hits in a way where like it just starts off that way. I'm just depressed, dude. And when you're self-aware, there's something weird about being self-aware of your alcoholism or your depression or something, where it's like, I did it for the last month and a half, where I had 2 or 3 tall boys a night or a 6-pack a night every day again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was I belligerent drunk? No, but
yeah,
I had to drink every day and socialize because I was completely at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I've argued that while I'm not dysfunctional and not wanting to get out of bed, but like I am a hollow shell that can now move around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need that alcohol or that kind of like thing to help me get through the night,
mm-hmm.
or to make my live fun, or to make my evening fun to go listen to music or whatever, because I knew what it was. I was self-aware.
Yeah.
I knew that I could sit here for a minute and then bring it back, because I would pick the pen up. I would pick the microphone. I would do something, and it would hopefully get that spark back. But it's weird that Eminem got something from me, and he always did when the song came out. This song is older.
Yeah.
This is not a brand new song. So this song hit with me as a rap song that I didn't know could really do, even back then. The scenarios have changed on why the song hits for me the way it does. But this was the song also with Let Me Be Sad, where I just was standing in my living room holding it. I'm like, why am I just... Because I was just trying to get the songs I hadn't listened to, like a refresh real quick, like the actual sounds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, this is why I don't do this to myself, because it puts me in such a different state compared to like Redecorate and Doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Even Eminem, which is funny to say.
If you don't mind me asking, as far as like the main hook of the song, where if I'm remembering correctly, doesn't he say, "So don't say that you aren't beautiful"?
Yes.
Where does that land for you in mental health? How do you perceive that?
It's the don't let him don't let him say that you aren't beautiful, but I think that that's like almost like a self-reflection on yourself, where it's like you have people telling you that you ain't shit or that you're not going to make it or whatever it is. And it's the fact of you have to see yourself in a beautiful setting. It sounds weird, but like when Harry Potter saw himself in the mirror, because he wanted to envision the good things, right? It's your perspective. It wasn't the same for everybody.
Yeah.
So if you envision yourself being the beautiful thing and having the good outcome, well, that's probably really the only way you're going to do that. You have to self-reflect in a way.
That's a really good way to put that. Yeah.
Like I don't know, like but it's just where him saying that, it's weird hearing Eminem say certain words, and beautiful was one of them, because he's such a vulgar individual.
Yeah.
Just for shock and awe, and we know that. But for him to write something even about himself, to say those words, it's like that is kind of a weird perspective to put yourself in, to say I'm beautiful even as a man.
Yeah, right.
But that doesn't mean like, oh, you're pretty. It's no, this is beautiful. This is big. This means something.
Yeah.
You are affecting millions of people from your presence or your songs or your, whatever it is you've done online. And for a long time, people doubted you or thought that you were just wasting your time, or make a plan B in case this doesn't work. Kay Reno said it the right way. Why would I make a plan B? That just means I didn't believe in A.
Well, I think there's also I know from personal experience of, doing this show, doing this entire thing, and doing this. We talked about this in the members episode, which it's not just because I want you guys to be a member. It's because we had a really good conversation. It was like 20 minutes long about what it was like to be in the basement.
Yeah.
And it's of like, the olden days and how hard everything was. And I remember I remember being told, can you please do something adult today? And it was that moment of like, okay, like, well, no, I didn't have the online poll, if that's what you want to call it, then.
Yeah.
We had nothing. Like, I mean, we were, bottom of the barrel. Nobody knew or gave a fuck that we existed, as far as like online. But I remember I had that moment of like, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything wrong. What, the yard wasn't mowed? Okay, well then do it yourself. Oh, that's right, you won't. So it was just like that type of thing, where it was like, it's like, can I please just have my 2% in my shit life? Is that all right?
Yeah.
And we've talked about that, like in the To Be a Man reaction, different things like that. But it makes me thankful for what I have now. And it's on every facet. It's just,
exactly.
it's truthfully. So,
and that's the thing too, is smiling through stuff when, like you said, can I just have my 2%? Because he actually says it here too, where it's oh, Marshall, you're so funny. You should be a comedian. Goddamn. And he says, unfortunately, I am. I hide behind the tears of a clown.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, because it's the fact of you just,
What is I always get it wrong. I think it's either Pagliacci. I always called him Pajim, but it was the story of the clown, which was that this town had a clown that if you were upset, you go to him, and it's like, well, he'll make you laugh or whatever. And well, a gentleman comes to the head official of the town and explains how horrible his life is. And he says, well, it's no problem. Just go talk to Pajim. He'll make you feel better. And he says, you don't understand. I am Pajim.
Right.
Like, and it's supposed to be a dark joke, but dude, like, if that's not some real shit.
Exactly.
Like,
and
dude,
that's why I said, like, there is some things where you saying that, like, I resonated with that, with the fact of just like, there was a dude that was I think it was staged, but still the girlfriend, like, had the camera set up, ironically, but she like turned his PS5 off or like ripped it out of the wall, and because she was like, that's all you do, and he's like, it's all I have.
Yeah.
Like, and he was getting upset, and like the comments were just flooded where it's like, us men we don't need much. Like, the joke is, show us a titty, give us a chicken sandwich and a beer, we're fine. But like, it's kind of the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like, so dude, like, man, like we don't need much, but it's just like, can I just enjoy my 2% of my shit fucking life for my last 20 years if I'm lucky?
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I'm just doing what I'm doing now, man. I've only got so much time left. So I'm trying to enjoy my 2%.
Well, I think that's the thing, is that you're carving your own path now. You know, it's the fact that you and I have, I don't want to, project or any different things, but it's kind of like, no, you and I have the same amount of freedom both with our own unique path.
Yeah.
And
right.
That's the thing, is that it's like, guys like, in chat, and then also, people in the future that are hearing this too, like, there was a time that it didn't feel like things were going to get better. It didn't feel like, I remember having that moment of, through my tears and the beer on my breath and the cigarette in my hand after being loaded up on a bong rip, thinking to myself, I'm going to die like this. This is how I'm going to die. No, it wasn't being inebriated. It wasn't.
I know.
It was.
I know.
The home. It was the people. It was everything. And just in the fact that there was where it's like, dude, like, how can I be in a situation that has no peace? And it's just, I mean, we know how, but it's just like, when you're in it, you're like, it's that whole thing of like, how the fuck did I get here?
Yeah.
And it's, but
right.
I don't know. It's Beautiful is an interesting song, because I think that, especially when it comes to Eminem, is that people underestimate him when they don't know him. And, it's the fact that, like, dude, like, he's a grandpa now, and he made every parent everywhere cry, with some of his most recent music, and just see just how much of a good dad he really was and is.
And he was the start of, like, basically cancel culture.
For real.
But and Amy, thank you for being a member.
Oh my God. Thank you so very much, guys. Guys, give Amy some love.
Yeah.
All the people that have become members tonight, give them some love. Thank you.
But okay, so that was my depression-filled song list right there for the night. But like I said, I wasn't sure how people were gonna, or you taking the fact of, like, an Eminem song.
It's interesting. Like, I like it.
It's the fact of, I thought that people might not, if they've never heard it, maybe go listen to it, number one, and number two, be like, what the fuck, Eminem could do, something like that. Actually, we reacted to it with Mom. She listened to it on the show. But yeah. So what is your last one? So speaking of, the one that got bumped was NF's Lost.
Yes.
So
I think I was that earlier. I think.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
I think we got it on record.
But yeah, NF Lost was one I was gonna do, but just because of the the title. But yeah, so that was definitely another good one. So if you've never listened to that one, go listen to that one, guys.
Yeah, especially the music video.
Yeah,
that's one of the more interesting lore videos he's done. Where I'm like, I wanted to know more, and now we're at Hope. So okay. I didn't even realize it, but this is actually a Christian band. It didn't even hit me, just because I just think of them as great musicians.
Okay.
The band Red. Michael Barnes as a vocalist is ridiculous. He's actually one of the people I've seen use singing success, so he knows how to use his voice properly. What you hear on a record, he can do live.
Sure.
That type of thing.
Okay.
So I've always had a massive amount of respect for the band in general. But they did an album called Until We Have Faces, and it was one of the more aggressive things in Christian metal and rock that came out at that time. And they took it from an excerpt. I think it was from it was either C.S. Lewis or J.R.L. Tolkien. I'm pretty sure it was C.S. Lewis, where the crux of what he said in his book called Till We Have Faces was that he basically said that until we find the truth in Christ Jesus and in our Lord, that we are faceless. Is that our identity of who we are truly meant to be is never going to be fulfilled until we rest and put our faith in him. It was kind of like the crux of it. And on this record, it's the second to last song, and it's beautiful. It's a song called The Best Is Yet to Come. This is not a sad song. It's not a depressing song. It was the very first song I put on, well, not the very first one, but it was the first one that came into my mind. It was the last one I wrote down, because I was kind of like, how is this going to age? How is this going to feel?
Sure.
And there's verses that describe a story and different things. And if you want the full perspective, obviously listen to the song on your own to get, a full idea. But the chorus is something that I always meditate on, and I try to think about whenever this song comes back to me, is that he says, and after all that we've been through, and after we all left in pieces, I still believe our lives have just begun. 'Cause now the past can be outrun, and I know that you're the reason I still believe the best is yet to come. It's tough to think that way. I'm a pessimist.
Sure.
Very, very much. One of my favorite Dayseeker songs has a lyric that's the complete opposite, which is the worst has yet to come, which I think is true in some ways, because there's always the big sad, or there's whatever that, fill in that blank of whatever it is, whether it's losing someone or your career fails or you crash your car, or there's big bad things that happen in life. But I'm sorry, I see stories of people that have overcome the most immense, incredible things, knowing that someone like Nick Yaris, who was wrongfully convicted of rape and murder and spent over 20 plus years in prison, and came out of it, and through that process said, fuck you, I'm going to be a nice guy. I'm going to get back at you. And that's how I'm going to get back at you, is I'm going to be a good, loving person for everything. And just like the shit that, dude, that's some of the most hardcore gangster shit I've ever heard.
That's tough, dude.
It's so easy to be angry. It's so easy to be hateful. It's so easy to do these things. It is hard as fuck to look at your life and go, no, the Captain America thing, you move. Because I won't.
Yeah.
I refuse to move. I refuse to let the smallest things piss me off. I refuse.
I'm trying, dude.
Like, dude, it's hard. And it's the thing is that we both have come from places where it was such a normal thing for mentality, because can you fucking blame us?
The stress the stress levels were so high for so long, for so many years,
Jennyville, thank you so very much.
You.
We got another member, Jennyville. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Really excited to see what you guys think of the members episode. It's going to be coming out. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, for 10 years, I've been in a scenario where it's been stressed. Like you're right. Like everything just tends to build, and, doing that kind of process of, like you said, like trying to be coming out on the other side, the nice guy. And it's so easy to just be angry, or even just kind of have a negative attitude against something all the time. It is easy, because it almost kind of goes into that whole situation of death is easy.
Yeah.
Life is hard. It's not that, it's not the other way around. It's not death is hard, life is easy. Like, no, no. And to, again, to go back to the lyrics, it's like, when it comes to Christian bands, I really do try my best. We talked about this before, guys, but try to not be so cringed out by the praise Jesus styles of bands.
There's music out there that it borderline sounds like Jesus is my boyfriend music, and it's like no.
That's where
that's not biblical, so
so it's like being able to say some things is one thing, and everybody has their own lane, so it's like, but knowing that there is artists out there that can do it in a way because of how good they are lyrically.
Yeah.
It makes it attractive for other people other than just the Grace Brethren church that we went to.
Right.
There's a difference because that's who's playing Carmen. That's who's playing. It wasn't just your buddy's mom, driving to school and blasting Carmen when we were 10. No, our mom did. That's because she was a devout Christian in the late 90s, that's just what you did.
I would say, man, Carmen, God rest his soul, I know for a fact that he's singing in the choirs up there right now, because rightfully so, but in the same hand is it cornball and cringe? Yeah, it is. I mean, what is it, Riot, where he says, we're going to do a righteous invasion of truth? We're gonna riot.
Yeah.
Dude, but the thing is, dude, his heart was in the right place.
It was.
He achieved something that a lot of Christian artists at that time were not willing to do. And it's I look at that where it's like, no, he was doing the right thing of like, no, he was the one that was going to the quote unquote tax collectors and the outcasts and the things where it was like, no, come to like, guys, come be with us.
Yeah.
Like, hear the good news, hear this or that. But dude, it's that you're right. The lyrics of a lot of Christian artists, it's so cringe, and it's unfortunate because it's like, dude, you have something that's like, you have a gold mine to write lyrics, and this is the path you chose. Come on, dude.
It's like that. It's almost like watching the kid that wants to go up and do the talent show to break dance when they don't know how to dance. You're like,
oh yeah. You're
like, please don't. Like, this is not your lane.
Yeah.
Carmen, rap is not your lane. Stop trying to be Jay-Z because you're not.
Yeah.
You are on fire for the Lord here. You are not out here fucking hoes and loading gats. So stop trying to act like it's one of those where like those back then would do. Yeah. Where it was trying to grab the youth's attention.
You're trying to get them involved.
Yeah. No. So again, like your two that were Christian bands, there's something to be said about the fact that they can get you in the feels.
Yeah.
And they're not this praise Jesus is my Lord and Savior. He died on the cross for me. Psalms 18:3. Like it's just there is that's I think a turnoff for a lot of people. And then when they hear somebody when they go, NF's a Christian rapper, and I went, no thanks.
That's thing is that I think the way to
we didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
But that's just how I took that. And I was with the Blackpink. I'm like, I don't want to listen to this guy.
Well, it's especially because I think that there's times where you have to differentiate is this person a Christian artist or are they a Christian that is an artist?
Correct.
And I think that's the thing is that NF does toe that line because especially when you hear him at the end of
both.
But at the end of therapy session where he's like, no, man, he's like, there's no question on where this came from. God gave me this gift.
Yeah.
And it's that where he is very upfront and bold about his faith.
But a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
A lot of people will be like, God gave me this gift. And I know a lot of people that aren't quote Christians that'll be like, this is a God-given talent or something. But yeah. So dude, this was a lot of fun. Reading the live and stuff was great. It wasn't something that was super involved with bouncing off of tonight. Now, guys, it doesn't mean that it won't be in the future, but I know for me personally, this was really cool.
I cannot express how fun this has been.
This was because again, I know that we are doing the podcast right now, but the fact that 50 to 60 people have been watching. Think about that, man. Dude, this is not on a vertical swipe through.
No.
This is not on that algorithm. And you are getting the first time around. Now, I don't know if it'll stay that way, but it looks like your consistency is around 40 to 60 people that have been watching tonight.
This, guys, this is nowhere near Madison Square Garden, Kevin Hart is at his special, that type of deal. It's not, winning the lottery. To me, this is bigger than that for me.
Dude, it's awesome.
Truthfully,
we did a live show of our podcast that is supposed to be you going in, not editing, but editing and uploading for them to see tomorrow morning at 8 or 9 a.m. We just had them involved. I can see the chat next to you right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if other people come in, I would like to think that if somebody clicks on this that has never seen or doesn't know or comes over from seeing something on the channel and goes, oh, you can like read the chat.
Yeah.
They involve maybe that'll be like, well, I want to come watch these lives now and be involved.
And Stephanie just became a member. Thank you so very much. That is awesome.
That's what I'm saying. Stuff like this. This is where this comes into play with the real time kind of gratification. Where my lives are the same but different. This is such a different vibe, feel, and outcome tonight with how we've done things.
Oh dear God, Tyler. He just says, never forget Poopgate 2025.
That's good. You killed him.
Dude, Tyler, no, dude, thank you for allowing us to be able to have some fun.
See, that's what I mean. Like,
oh my God,
kind of be involved,
Shit.
you know, with the live here. But
wow,
I selfishly, guys, hope that in the future that this is such a good thing that we have enough time that Kyle goes, hey man, we're gonna kick this up to 2 days a week.
I would love that.
Like I said,
cool.
I know that this is baby steps.
So actually, let's go ahead and address some questions right now. So again, RSS and everybody, guys that are just listening, please bear with us, but we want to acknowledge chat here. So
correct.
Natural Ginger
sorry,
says,
hearies.
Yeah, hearies and viewies. So you guys are the viewies right now. Natural Ginger wants to know how often are we going to go live. So the goal is that we usually record podcasts on Wednesdays, is that we're going to keep it on Wednesday evenings. Now I'm going to say evening because we're going to figure out the times to be sure what it is. Like, for instance, I know with your schedule is that you're a little more free now because your kiddo's in school.
I don't have to normally pick her up or drop her off. Yeah.
So it's just there's a lot of things that, you know, we need to see how it ages over time and see how things go. We could find out that like Sunday nights are the right time or like something else. Who knows? But for right now, we're not going to change anything. My goal is my thought on it is that it's like, nah, man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is when we normally do this stuff anyway.
I would say, like if anything, just add the extra day on it. When you choose to do something, don't necessarily swap days on what it is now. Like, be like, nope, it's still Wednesdays, but we also do it Sundays. Sure. Or, you know, Thursdays or whatever it is. So, well, that would be back to back. But anyways.
But I would actually ask you guys this, is that once the video is uploaded, I would actually encourage you guys to go over and leave a comment on the video. Talk about how you felt about this live. How did it affect you?
To engage with it.
Yeah, and not even just the idea that we're live too, but also the episode in general. We want to know your feedback. We want to know if you guys like the full production we're doing, or if we should change some things up, or however it should go. Like, I'm really digging. Where is it on this side? I really love the fact like chat is able to be seen here. I love that you can kind of see the board. It's a different vibe, and
it really is.
I'm really liking this. And guys, like, truthfully, like, I've always wanted to do a radio show, and now we have the ability to do it. So I'm blown away. I'm just elated for all the support, whether it is by chat or like or comments or super chats or memberships, whatever it is, guys. All of that stuff is so damn important, especially just watching and just enjoying what we do. You don't have to give us a dime. No. The Cavecast is a place that where if you watch, you're supporting us, and that is just so incredible. So, regardless, guys, I think that we are definitely going to bring this to an end. And thank you for spending.
I got to do my own live.
Yep. It's we also want to figure out, you know, timing of where, like, you know, if it does go later, things like that.
Yeah.
Like you've got your own schedule, you know, but personal lives, all that stuff. So, all right. Well, as usual, Eric, is there anything you would like to say to them before we officially sign off until next week when we're live again?
No, other than just, you know, for this one, it's just, we do appreciate you guys. This is a, you know, work in progress. But like he said, just hanging out with you guys has been a lot of fun. Just come hang out with us. You do not have to super chat, do any of that. We just enjoy the engagement and you guys enjoying listening to us. So thank you.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys, we love you. We'll see you next time. Adios.